Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Magic Ministries. I am Nina Diedrich, and today we're going to officially kick off the start of this new live stream. So, this morning is going to be for all signs. So, I'm going to pull cards for all 12 signs and one for the collective to make 13. So, this year we are going to focus on that, right? Because life is about change and nothing ever stays the same, including you. Even your atoms are moving constantly. Why do you think they call it emotion? Right? So, let's start with our collective reading, and I'm going to use the Universe Has Your Back deck for those. And then for the 12 Zodiac, I'm going to use the Everyday Witch Tarot by the lovely Deborah Blake, because I'm just feeling the art today. All right, so let's grab our cards for our collective. And I will timestamp this once it posts up on YouTube, once we're done with the live. So don't worry if you want to come back later and see what your signs were. These are for sun, moon, and rising signs. So, look at all of them. Our first card today is true healing occurs when I give myself permission to feel whatever feelings live below the triggers. And that has definitely been what we have been going through this week energetically, or at least I know I have been personally. Maybe you can let me know in the comment box or the chat whether you've been going through the same sort of shenanigans this week. Give me a second while I shut that window really quick. So, this school district has officially shut down school here due to the coronavirus going on. So, keep me in your prayers, guys. Not that I'm worried about any of us getting it, but we are planning a really big move here. And, I don't want to speak anything into existence. So let's just hope this all passes over quick, right? Or maybe it's just some big media crap to try to distract everybody from voting. I don't know. Who knows why any of this stuff happens? But remember, your energy flows where your intention goes. And, I'm intended to live a happy and full existence. I can't help but notice, too, that we have a lot of very sort of yellow, orangish colors today. Yesterday, we were kind of in the blues and the purples. So there is definitely some sort of a shift going on. Our next card. Indeed. And here's our reminder. Remember, we are spirits having a human experience. And we're here to get closer to love, right? Oh, I like that. It's kind of a portal card too, huh? All right, let's get one more. Then we'll look at the bottom of the deck. Remember, your joy is the ultimate creator in this life. And that is true. And our message from the bottom of the deck. Instead of praying for an outcome, we pray for the highest good for all, right? So, no matter what is going on around you and how distracting it may be to get sucked into the drama, remember, anything that makes you feel fear is false evidence appearing real. So follow your joy. But that stuff applies all of the time, right? This is nothing new. So instead of praying for a specific outcome, like the obliteration of the coronavirus and well, an immediate cure. Why don't we all just pray for the highest good for all and see what that leads us to? If we can all vibrate at a state of love instead of fear, miracles happen every day, right? Now, let's dive into our all signs cards. So I am going to start with Aquarius, and we are going to work our way back to Pisces because, well, it is Pisces season. I am using the Everyday Witch Tarot, and I am going to read the things out of the book too. Just kind of compare notes, but also because I love what she says in the book about these cards. And I know you guys will too. All right, so here we go. Let's start with Aquarius. Your card, ooh, you get two. First, you get the Nine of Wands. Ooh, I like that one. And also the Eight of Wands together. Crazy. So maybe you have some sort of progression going on here, Aquarius. I see you kind of stepping more into your power. Maybe you've made some sort of a decision and everything's not feeling quite so chaotic like this card, right? This is where you started from. Now, as long as you don't get sucked into the fear, it won't end up like this, right? This is also you trying and trying and trying again. But don't give up. These things are right around the corner. Next thing you know, you're going to be conjuring some crazy stuff. But don't be afraid of that power. It is yours to grasp. Okay, Aquarius? Now, let's read what the 8 and 9 of Wands have to say in the book. Okay, so the message from the 9 of Wands card says, you may be battered and bruised, but you will survive to fight today. Or maybe you won't have to fight at all. That might make for a nice change of pace, wouldn't it, Aquarius? Hello, Rebecca. It's good to see you. Okay, so things to consider with the 9 of Wands card, Aquarius, is the fact that, life is full of battles, big and small. You kind of have to sift through it and pick the ones that you really want to conquer right now, because what you focus on grows, right? And that was the message from the collective. So we kind of have to throw that in there too as well. So notice patterns and whether or not you're fighting the same battles over and over again and still not getting any new results. The 8 of Wands card says that there are moments when things come together and take on a life of their own, creating a momentum that's hard to stop. And this may be one of those times. So you need to be really careful about what it is that you're focusing on, right? That is what you're conjuring into your existence. And, well, it sounds like it's going to show up in a really, really big way. So choose wisely where you are, I guess, focusing your energy and your thoughts too as well. Ultimately, though, that's a really great message for you right now during this time period, I feel, Aquarius. So, next, we have Capricorns, but thank you, all of you Aquarius viewers, for tuning in. I love you beyond measure. I'll shuffle this really quick, and then we'll pull cards out for Aquarius. I am not going to put the cards that I've drawn back into the deck. So there will not be any repeat cards during this. I might do that for today. And your card is the 10 of Wands. Oh, I'm sorry, the 2 of Wands. I was going to look cross-eyed at my deck here for a second if it did that. That would have been crazy. But it's the 2. So this is kind of not so much watching your ships coming in, but knowing that they're coming in, Capricorn. You've done the work, and now you're just watching things fall into place. And it looks to me like you guys are pretty set. But let's see what the book has to say about that. I'm not really getting any distinct messages from that card other than maybe I should congratulate you for being so awesome. Okay, so the message from the 2 of Wands card says, it is good to spend time contemplating your options, but sooner or later you're going to have to choose one. So which direction pulls most strongly? Oh, nice. So things to consider with this card are, it's a wonderful thing to have a number of choices, especially if they are all good options. And pondering all the options and planning for the future is a sign of wisdom and maturity. And it's one that we all want to be sure that we make for ourselves too as well. And a good question to ask yourself, Capricorns, right now is, are you dreaming your life away, or are you focusing it on something that you're actually yourself to as well? But don't let other people choose for you right now. Ultimately, you're the only one who can decide whether or not this is the right time to move on something, or whether or not you need to move on to a different project. But ultimately, you already know that. The question is, are you going to keep sitting on it, or are you finally going to pick yourself up by your bootstraps and realize that you're awesome and you can do it? It's a pretty good question, right, Capricorns? Thank you for joining me, and I appreciate you beyond measure. Make sure you stick around for your moon and your rising signs too, as well, or any other astrological planet you want to check your signs with. These kind of apply for everything. I'm trying not to limit source at the moment. Now, let's move on to Sagittarius, shall we? Let me shuffle this really quick. Wands seem to be really making an appearance today. So we are definitely conscious creators this week, right? This is probably going to end up being a pretty long live stream. Okay, it's done. It's like, stop shuffling me. Okay, so Sagittarius, your card is... Oh, you get 2, and they kind of came out from 2 different spots in the deck, so nice. Okay, so weird, but we get another Wands card. But this is the 4 of Wands, our 1111 portal card. It's normally a tent being held up by 4 different posts, but in this card, it is 4 friends celebrating the awesomeness of what they have conjured into existence. And the card it comes out with is Judgment, which says, go you. You have definitely been making some shit happen lately. Let's get to the book. I should probably show you guys the blow-ups of these cards too, because they're really cool. Hold on. let's get the full experience from Deborah Blake, shall we? Okay, so here is the Four of Wands card. Okay, just so you can kind of get an idea. And they all have a little saying too. I forgot to read it for the other one, but the Four of Wands card is titled, "It's a Party, Pass the Cake." So, remember, my Sagittarius friends, sometimes you just have to celebrate the day, whether there is a special occasion, the achievement of a goal, or just because the sun is shining. Gather up your friends and family and enjoy the moment. So, usually, no matter where it falls in a reading, the Four of Wands is a great card. If it's your final card, it's a pretty good indication of a happy future. Although, if the Four of Wands is in a past position, it can mean that once you had a happy marriage or life and now things aren't so great. But ultimately, it stands for success, good relationships, happy family life, or even an actual wedding. Either way, congratulations, Sag. Now let's go back to the Judgment card. And here it is. And it says, "Here we go again." So, it looks like you're going to be trying something you already tried before, but this time you're going to be extremely successful in it. The card says, "Where has your path led you, Sagittarius? And where will it lead you now?" So, things to consider with this card are you following your own music or dancing to someone else's tune? The Judgment card reminds us to listen to our own inner wisdom, and it can also suggest that we're judging ourselves too harshly or taking others' judgments of us to heart. If this card shows up in your reading, it may be an indication that it's time to let go of the old and embrace the new. Rebirth and renewal await if you're willing to go down the path that will take you to them. And since it came down with the Four of Wands card, Sagittarius, ultimately, I think you just have to embrace the fact that, well, you made it out of the shit pond, and now you get to celebrate all those awesome successes over the last 4 months, 4 years, or 4 weeks. I'm getting the number 4 a lot for you guys. So there you have it, Sag. Thank you for joining me, and I love all of you beyond measure. Stay tuned for your sun, moon, and risings too, as well. So next we have Scorpios. Shuffle these. Also, if you have any questions you would like me to answer at the end of this, please put it in the chat box in capital letters so I can differentiate it from just the comments. All right, one more time. Okay. Scorpio. What is our message for today? There it is. And we get the Ace of Wands. Bingo. Consciously creating. But what is it you're creating? Have you figured that out yet, Scorpio? It's a very good question. Let's see what the book has to say. So, the card's title says, "Take the energy and run with it," right? That's promising. So, let's see what Deborah Blake's interpretation of this card is. It says, "Sometimes the universe gives you a boost. Don't miss an opportunity when it comes along, filled with potential. Things to consider, Scorpio, when the Ace of Wands appears in your reading. It often can be an indication of something wonderful, powerful, and life-changing. So what's happening in your life right now? Are you taking advantage of all the opportunities in front of you? If the Ace of Wands shows up as a future card, it's both a promise and a warning. Make sure you are channeling your strengths and energy in the most productive and positive ways possible. And I love that too. It says it also can represent a symbol of your own inner power and the reharnessing of said power, which is really what all of the signs are doing. But it could be that some of you Scorpios are leading the ranks of it too, as well, or helping somebody else to kind of get a handle on their own practices too. It could also mean that you're just concentrating on your own practices more too, as well. But it's definitely the knowledge that you are on the right path. All right, Libras. Let's get your card. The art in this deck is by Elizabeth Alba too, by the way. All right. One more. Sorry, guys, that's probably pretty loud. All right. Libra, your card is quick to come out. And you guys get, the Empress. 3. Creation herself. Seems to me you are calling in a harvest of gigantic proportions, my friends. Let's see what the book has to say, though. All right, so nice. So the Empress card represents the divine feminine is in all of us. So male, female, we are definitely coming into much greater contact with that highest aspect of our feminine self. So this card is about abundance, nurturing, and female power. Things to consider with this card are the Empress is a reminder to embrace growth, abundance, and your own feminine power. Even men have feminine power, although it may be more subtle. You see, the Empress says yes to life. Do you? What are you growing in the garden that is your life? Are you nurturing yourself and your own endeavors? The Empress may represent you or some strong woman in your life, a mother or role model, or someone with that strong nurturing energy. She could possibly even indicate pregnancy. So celebrate the divine feminine in your life, Libra, no matter what form it takes. Amen to that. I do like that too. You may please place your questions in capital letters in the box, and then I will get to them at the very end. I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more signs to go, and then I can answer your question. Thank you for joining us, and welcome. All right. Let's get a card next for Virgo. Ooh, Virgo only wants 2 shuffles. on a personal note, run. Or find somebody to stand in front of you as protection and get them to get you out. Try not to attack them publicly, though, but I'll answer your question with a card and we'll ask source. The card for Virgo, though, is the Six of Swords. I do like this card for you guys. Virgos have been having kind of a rough road. I know. Okay, so the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords for me always is kind of a little bit of picking up what you want and taking that with you and leaving the rest behind too as well. But let's see what the book says. Here it is. And the title for this card is Any Place But Here. And it is the Six of card. And it says, sometimes you just have to get done. So try not to take your troubles with you, Virgos. Things to consider with this card are sometimes there are situations you simply can't fix. Unhealthy relationships, jobs that beat you down, dangerous or unproductive circumstances. And if you're dealing with one of these, you have to ask yourself if it's time to cut your losses and just get out. There is no shame in asking to do so, and it's okay to lend a hand, as long as you are sure you're not going to end up carrying burdens that don't belong to you. So make sure that you're not accepting responsibility for other people's things right now, Virgo. That's going to be very, very important for you not to play that blame game. So just try to stay in a point of forgiveness at all times, especially with anything having to do with yourself and your past. Your past does not make who you are. Only now does, right? Remember that. And shuffle this deck and get your card. Boy, Leos, I'm getting a sense of a lot of sun, which, you know, is pretty typical for the Leo energy, but I really feel like you guys are kind of on fire right now in a figurative sense. Or maybe you get to go on a vacation to somewhere sunny too. Let's see what the card says though, huh? And your card popped right out. Leos. Ooh, I am sensing a journey for you. 7, the Chariot. Hello, full speed ahead. But which way are you going? I love that card. All right, let's see. Oop, I passed it. All right, here it is. Onward and upward. Forward, ever sideways. So it doesn't really matter which way you go, does it? All right, Leos, your card says, oh my goodness, it doesn't matter which direction you pick, as long as you pick one and get moving. So things to consider with this card are it can be difficult to choose a path, especially if they both look inviting. So ask yourself what it is you truly desire and how hard you're willing to work to get it right now, Leos. Whatever happens, don't allow anyone to make the choice for you. This is your time to be in charge and make the decisions that will shape your future. So choose wisely and then move forward with confidence, knowing that you are capable of making the journey because you are amazing. And thank you, Leos, for joining us. I love all of you beyond measure. Now, Cancers. Let's shuffle this cards and let's get yours. See what your message is for today. And for those of you tuning in, I will timestamp this after it posts on YouTube. All right, Cancers. Get your, oh, there it is. Holy crap. 2 of them? All right. One fell on my lap and one is in my hand. All right. So the first card is the 6 of Pentacles. Ooh, the coins appear for Cancer. Could be a financial thing. I like that. But it comes out with the 5 of Cups. So don't block yourself by looking at the spilled milk. Acknowledge the abundance of the opportunity being given to you and make sure that you pay it forward as well. All right. The 6 of Pentacles. Oops, wrong way. The 5 of Cups first, because that's your past position, I feel, is what you're coming out of. So we don't want you to go get stuck back in that. So let's read the message from that card first. Trying not to lose my spot here too. Okay. So the 5 of Cups is drama. It's ruined. It's all ruined. Don't get stuck there, Cancer. So the question this card is asking you right now is, are you so focused on the negative that you're missing the good stuff, Cancer? Please don't do that. Focus again, because remember, it is better to give than to receive. But receiving is okay too. Right? Okay. Here's the thing, Cancers. If you have enough to spare, it is good karma to be generous. And it's not a sign of weakness to accept help if you really need it either. So things to consider with this card are those around you who need your assistance, monetary or otherwise? Perhaps now is the time to give back to family or community, or simply walk the talk of your spiritual path by showing generosity and kindness to others. Are you in need of help but too proud to take it? That is a good question for you guys. And are those who are willing to give it freely? Remember that giving is a cycle, and if you have to take help now, you can always pass it on to someone else when things get better. Accepting assistance during a tough time doesn't make you any less, and it just might bring joy to the person you allow to help you. Because it could be you're allowing them to fulfill some soul contract by helping you, Cancer. So don't think of everything that people want to give you as an act of charity. You are deserving. And you are so loved. So let the universe love you a little today, okay? And if you still feel it's too much and you can't accept it all, well, find someone else to share the generosity with, right? What goes around comes around, as long as you don't stop it with nonsense, right? I love it. That's great. All right, Geminis, you're next. Let's shuffle these cards. One more time. All right. Geminis. Ooh. That one almost bent in half in my hand. You guys have the 7 of Swords. So this is kind of the, are you trying to stash all your goods and keep them hidden from everyone? Or are you finally ready to show it off a little bit? It's a good question. Let's see what the book has to say about that, Geminis. The card's title says, la, 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 nothing to see here. Right, Geminis? No use looking at that man behind the curtain, is there? The card says, I'm carrying this stuff with me, but am I running away or running to? Things to consider with this card, Geminis. The Seven of Swords can be a warning to be alert. Whatever situation you are in the midst of may be more complicated than it appears to be, and it might be hard to know who to trust. If something seems off, you should probably listen to your instincts. On the other hand, don't jump to conclusions. There may be a perfectly reasonable explanation for that guy walking off with all of your jewelry. Maybe he's just taking it out to be cleaned. Right? Who knows what the motivation is behind things, Gemini? For your highest good. No, you're loved beyond measure. Thank you for joining us. So we're having a slightly unstable connection. Hopefully we don't lose it. All right, Taurus. Let's continue. So I'm sorry if you guys are not all getting all of your messages, but hopefully the internet will fix itself in a minute. All right. Taurus. Taurus. What is your message for today? Oh my goodness. Ooh. Taurus. Funny that the opposite sign of mine in the zodiac pulls the card of the day. The Death card. Transformation. This is what we're discussing, is it not? So, congratulations, Taurus, for joining the journey. Let's see what this card has to say to you. Make sure I didn't drop any other cards down there. Okay. Okay. The Death card says all things must end sometime, right? I know the Death card looks scary in this one, but it's really not that scary. It's really ultimately about the doors behind the scary figure, which represents your fear. So, remember, when one door closes, another opens, right? Things to consider when you pull the Death card. The Death card doesn't seem like it is the bringer of good news, does it? But it also rarely comes as a surprise, Taurus. You probably already knew that something was ending. So hopefully you have caught a glimpse of whatever new thing will take its place and can find some solace in it. It's okay to mourn your loss, though. Just don't make the mistake of hanging on to something that's already gone. It's dead. Let it go. And when you're done mourning, perhaps you'll be able to find the open door that has taken the place of the one that God just closed. Right? Amen to that. Okay. Thank you, Taurus, for joining me. We love you beyond measure. And let's skip on to Aries. Let me get a drink really quick. I just looked at the clock at 40 minutes, 40 seconds. So we have a 44 code too. All right, let's shuffle this for Aries. 2 for you. All right, what? Okay, I'm not sure if I conjured that or if that was just divine providence, but I said 2 for you, and what pops out? But 2 for you, Aries. And ooh, they are good ones. You kind of get the decision card twice. First with the Lovers card and a 6. And then also with the Page of Pentacles. So it seems this decision is going to be prosperous, right? Okay, let's read the Lovers card first. Okay, so. Oh. The card title says all you need is love, right? I love that. That's true. That's a message we like to promote here too. So remember, Aries, love is all around us. Things to consider when you pull this card are, if you asked about love in your reading, then the Lovers may also be the answer you were looking for. But it can also be about trust and love in general. Sometimes the Lovers card symbolizes all the pieces coming together in perfect harmony. So if you're trying to make a choice, you may want to use this card as a suggestion to look into your heart, to discover which option gives you that magical feeling of completeness and rightness. Right? Okay. And the Page of Pentacles was your second card. And then I have one more sign left to do, and we'll do personal questions. So if anybody else in the stream wants me to answer a question, now would be a good time to put it in the chat box in capital letters, please, so I do not mistake it for comment. Okay, the Page of Pentacles. Message to you, Aries, says that you're eager to see what the future holds. And you are indeed, right? So remember that your path is wide open and you're prepared for new adventures, Aries. Is there someone young or young at heart who's depending on you at work or in some kind of financial way? This could represent one or more of your children if you have them. If so, make sure that whatever help you give them leads them in the direction of their own independence. If this card represents you or something specific in your life, have you been considering starting a new endeavor or beginning over again in a new career? Now might be the time to go for it. And considering it came out with the Lovers card, I'm guessing that choose love and then choose love again, Aries. And it won't lead you astray, I promise. Thank you for joining us here at Magic Ministries, and we love you beyond measure. Now, let's finish this off with Pisces. I had to get ready for my second live stream too at 10:10. This took a little bit longer than I thought. We may have to limit the all signs to just Fridays. Okay, so you get a great card, Pisces. Who better to pull an ocean card but the fish? So, the Queen of Cups. That is a lot of abundance that you are realizing is yours. Amen to that, Pisces. So, the Queen of Cups message to you. If I can find it. There it is. Blessed is she who gives with her whole heart. Remember that, Pisces. Pardon me. Goodness. Okay. So, find those who will nurture you and your endeavors and open yourself to their gifts, Pisces. Things to consider with this card are, everyone needs a cups in their life, and we all have the capacity to be this person for others. If she shows up in your reading, The queen may already be present. Have you taken advantage of the aid she offers you? You might have to go looking for her, but if you do, it will be worth the effort. Perhaps you take the role of the Queen of Cups for others. If so, you are to be admired and commended. Just be careful not to give so much of yourself that your cup becomes empty and you have nothing left for your own needs, Pisces. Remember, we must first fill our own cup so we may then fill the cup of others, right? Nice. Okay, now to personal questions. All right, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your name right, but I think it's Sherry or Shirai. Actually, let's put them all back in the deck first. Actually, you know what? I'm going to switch decks. We're going to use the Soul Truth deck. It's Sherry. Okay. Or Sherry. Oh my goodness. The question your soul. I like this. Okay, so the question your soul wants you to ask instead of focusing on that, this seems like a redirection question, is if I had a magic wand and could have anything I desired in life, what would you choose? Okay. Now, there is power in your desires, so let them be your fuel for today. Your desires are your soul's wings, and it's time to take flight. So today, go inward. Your answers lie within. What do you desire? Choose what makes you happy and do that. Honestly, I think Source's message is you should just focus on what makes you happy and stop worrying about what this other person feels. If you feel like you're somehow in danger from them, then you should probably tell someone or just confront them directly and be like, hey, what the heck is up? Get out of my bubble, you know? Right? It does. Let me pull a love and relationships card for you too. And let's just see what it's looking like now that you know. Where can you go, right? That happens. Just stay true to yourself, dear. All right, let's get our love and relationships card for you. And you get the open-heartedness card. Remember, raw and real always wins in the end, and nobody can be fooled forever, okay? So, I know that life and the people living it can be an absolute bummer sometimes, but I want you to promise not to let unhappy chapters make you jaded. If you let negative experiences turn sour, well, then the jerks win. So, I want you to move on with an open and hopeful heart, if only because you hate losing to jerks. Okay? I hope that helps you. And know we love you beyond measure here at the ministry, and we wish you nothing but love and favor. All right. Anybody else have any questions today? Otherwise, I'm going to just close this out with a couple cards from the Affirmators deck, and I need to go get ready for my priestess talk here in a couple minutes, where we're going to dive into some more soul truths together as we confront our shadows. You're very welcome. All right. Let's see. Oh, here it is. Out of the Black Affirmators deck, which you can purchase for yourself on knockknockstuff.com. And no, that is not a paid for advertisement. I just really, really love them. You're very welcome, Rebecca. I love you. All right, let's get a card for everybody to close this out. And we get two, and they are playfulness, and power. Our love dino tank car. Where's Nara? All right. So remember, when we are discussing playfulness, we are happy and playful participants in our life. And we always have the option to make something a fun game rather than a heavy burden. Mary Poppins put sugar in the medicine for a reason, because that lady really knows how to party, right? But this is the card I want you guys to focus on today and all days. Not a tank that's used for war. You are like a peaceful, loving dino tank who feels so strongly it doesn't need to do anything but just be. And that's exactly what we're talking about today on our Priestess Talk. The art of being who and what you are. The love of Source. Creation creating. Life lifing. Love in the image of God. I'm wishing all of you nothing but joy and peace and fulfillment today and all days. Be good. Be good to yourselves. But most of all, keep being good to each other. Every little ripple creates the tsunami that's going to change our world. So don't get distracted by the towers falling. The shit has to fall in order for us to clean it up, right? We can't keep sweeping it under the rug. It still stinks. So, I love you all beyond measure. Go out, be the radiant lighthouses of love that you came here to be, in the knowledge that you are God, Godding. So go out and create the reality that you choose, one of love and joy and happiness, because that is our birthright. Bye, everyone. I'll see you at 10:10 for our next live stream. And I love you.